they say that in America there are places in which there are no grocery stores, and so therefore people don't have access to healthy food.
I'm from Alabama, Lauren. I'm from Alabama, and I got to be honest, there are some areas where like the only thing around for like 20 miles are like it's like a Dollar General, and I know that there's food that, girl, yeah.
I love getting food at a Dollar General.
What do you do?
Where are you?
Because here's the thing.
Well, if you can't.
Because I've lived in like very rural areas. Like I've lived in rural areas of Arizona. I've briefly lived in Georgia, but I lived in Atlanta, Georgia, the city. I haven't lived in a rural area of Georgia. I've lived in cities. And then when I look up food deserts, they actually say that the food deserts are in places like San Francisco, New York City. And I'm like, bitch, get a Subway card that is not expensive. Get one of those trolleys. You know, those are
I thought you meant like Subway sandwiches. It worked wonders for Jared. So
grocery store once a week. It is not that difficult to pick up some eggs, some cheese, maybe some butter. Not like
and a lot of rural areas have farmers. So I mean, you can get food straight from the farmer. Yeah,
facts.
I think it's like if you're in like a rural area and you're like older on a fixed income, can't drive, like stuff like that. I don't think it's as bad as it sometimes is suggested. But if the only thing around you is like a Dollar General or whatever, like you're just not going to get good groceries there. But
Dollar General, but also especially with the food delivery service these days. And I understand that like people are on a fixed income, so they're not.
Those are extremely expensive.
Some of them, but some of them are not. So like, for instance, Costco has like a free delivery if you get over $100. I wouldn't say Costco is like an extremely expensive place. So there are places in which you could get groceries delivered to your door. So I'm struggling I think that, right. I think that you might be in a really, and I'm not trying to like be adversarial to you at all. That sounds like you've had a very blessed life, but there are people who don't have $100 for Costco.
People
I'm just saying,
have like $40, $50 for
maybe like that's asking a lot. I understand. I don't think it's as pronounced as you say it is.
So you're telling me you can't do grocery like shopping every 2 weeks. So like if you have $50,
Lauren, you are in denial about the state of people's finances. I'm sorry, you are.
Dollar General sells eggs.
They do, yeah. You can have nothing but eggs.
Some people are so paycheck. It's like I have like literally maybe $50 a week, and they can't even buy in advance.
But if they're struggling that much, if they're managing to maintain being fat, then they're spending a lot more money than their employer.
True.
Because to sustain, ask anybody who's been to the gym and has tried to maintain putting on muscle. It costs more money to maintain an extra higher weight than it does to stay a slimmer weight.
It is like the groceries are absolutely cheaper, even if you factor in time, even if you factor in the Subway card, even if you factor in the cost of the little trolley thing. Like if you have to, and like now you're saying like you're factoring in like old people on a fixed income who are incapable of traveling. Okay, that's like a very small subset of the
unhealthy food is cheaper.
It's not though. There's so many old people in the like that don't have anyone taking care of them. I'm not trying to be adversarial to you, but that is like it is. There's a lot of people in the country
to get old.
What? Oh, sorry, my cat's playing in the cat's playing in the bathtub. I can't hear anything right now. Sorry.
On this, that cheaper food is less healthy for you, and so you can fill up for cheaper.
For sure,
but it's a lot of preservative laden garbage.
Well, and also, I mean, a lot of older people as well. Like they cook. Like my grandma still cooks with like Crisco and stuff, which is fine. But there's also just a lot of kind of habits of yore that don't really help as well. God, stop! I swear to God. Sorry, I'm gonna have to go.
Desert reminds me of that Sam Kinison joke. You know what I'm talking about, Chrissy?
Which one?
Sam Kinison. He's deceased. He was fat.
Yes.
But he's talking about starving people in Africa, and he's going, "Move where the food is." Why do these people live here? Why don't you just take the people in Africa and move them where the food is? That's what.
Or to start growing food. Like for instance, it's crazy that guy.
I gotta go wrestle the cat real quick. Sorry, I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
YouTuber, what's his face? He made all of those water wells in Africa.
Oh
it's
yeah.
wild
Mr. Beast?
Yeah, like Mr. fucking Beast had to do it. Like none of the like billions of dollars that we've been sending to Africa over the years, not one of those could make a crack in a fucking well. Because I just went to Africa and there were many villages that didn't have any water, and it was just like, why
Move where the water is.
Lauren, I want to apologize to you because I was wrestling the cat. So I think I was having kind of a separate conversation than you were. Food deserts and low incomes in general are a problem within the context of what we were actually talking about with weight. I do agree with you a lot more than just in general with like rural areas and people being poor. So sorry, I think I was having a very different conversation than the one we were trying to have. So
you're not the only, like, if you read the comments of that video, everyone's like, wow, she comes off so entitled, so she's never experienced this. And it's like, I've lived in the poorest areas in America. Like I've lived in Kingman, Arizona. Like,
but were you poor? That's the problem.
All the poor people.
Sounds like it's not hard to be rich
in Arizona. And like, actually, yeah, I kind of am poor. I mean, like I have family that I could rely on who are not poor, but I am working off my own finances. So yes, I would say.
Well, if you just eat, you could get a bunch of rice and chicken thighs, and you're eating like a poor person, but also like a bodybuilder. There's like 8% body fat.
Again, what is it if you only just eat Skittles out of a wine glass? Where do I fall into this?
Kingman has 3 grocery stores, and it's like extremely rural, extremely poor area. And other than the grocery stores, there's also farmlands like all over the place. So I'm just finding it very difficult to comprehend.
What if you don't have a green thumb?
And also, like, why would anyone, like as Keanu was saying, go to where the food is? Why would anyone move
Sam Kinison said it.
where there's literally not a
Lauren, oh boy. Yeah, like okay, well, okay. If you're poor and you don't live near a grocery store, why don't you just move? That's an absolutely absurd thing to.
Place that actually doesn't have any grocery store, even in some very, very. I'm telling you, I have some super redneck relatives. There's at least a corner store with some eggs and some milk and some lunch meat. Yeah.
I boiled eggs. It does, and like I've never been to an area in New York that doesn't have bodegas on like nearly every corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trader Joe's is pretty cheap, but yeah, those are not everywhere.
Fuck Trader Joe's. They have a damn hostess in New York. You can't get in there for 3 hours.
Really?
Are you serious?
Yes. I tried to go to the one on the Upper West Side. There was a woman who was a hostess. Like, what's the name on your reservation? I'm like, this is a grocery store, correct?
No way. There was a hostess for your grocery store.
I was like, I'll just get a bag of Skittles and call.
So like, is it like a
day.
bouncer? To like, is it like one in, one out, like a bar?
Be a bit of a wait. I'm like, what is going on here?
Reservation.
Could you like pre-schedule a time to go?
You don't, but there's a line out the door, and then they let people. It's like shopping at one of those like stores in Soho where there's a line.
I think I've been to that. Is it the one on the Upper West Side that's like 3 stories?
Yeah. Well, there's Lower East Side has a 3-story one, and I didn't see I don't grocery shop. I don't keep groceries in my house, just candy.
Okay, fair enough.
But I was trying, and then it was like, this is not happening here. I mean, I guess the food is cheap at Trader Joe's, but if I have groceries in my house, I'll just eat them all in the middle of the night in my bed with my hands. So. Did I say I beat my eating disorder? I might take that back.
You're doing great.